Hello, welcome to the Colourful vlog. Today is a vlog about the 12 cast ons number 5 and 6. My name is Carolien. You can find me everywhere as Kralaleen. And I have a webshop, colourfulcreativity.nl or colourfulcreativity.com. Yeah, 5 and 6. We made it to halfway. If I take off the frog number 3, I am not quite there yet. I still have a ways to go, but hey ho. We have a cast on number 5 here. And cast on number 5 is a lot of ribbing. So I have here 4.5 inches of 2x2 rib. It is a glove for Robert. It's gonna be a pair of gloves, of course. The pattern I'm using is the Gem Gloves by Pearl Soho. I have knit them before for myself. You can actually see it hanging there. It is a very simple pattern that I'm going to adjust where I need it because it is too narrow for Robert. It was already too narrow for me. I didn't even get my fingers in when I knitted the first time. So I have to adjust with more stitches for the fingers. Robert has even wider fingers than me, so I'm adjusting where necessary. I am knitting them on a 2.75mm needle. The pattern suggests a 3mm needle starting with 64 stitches. I did that and I let Robert try it on and it was like super wide. So I went down a needle size to 2.75mm and I cast on 60 stitches. It is for my own, I went even down to a 2.5mm needle. Now I have to go down to 56 stitches, which I'm not gonna do because Robert's hand is wider. He tried on mine and they are a bit tight. So needle size up, a few more stitches should work. I'm using this self-striping yarn from my stash. I think it's a yarn clip from a German dyer from a few years ago. Not the most enthusiastic about the colors somehow. So I'm happy Robert liked it and he was like, oh, I'll pick that one. I have 2 in similar colors and somehow I am out of love for these kind of colors. I'm not sure. I don't know what's happening to me. I may have found a new color family love, which I will show you in a sec. So yeah, I'm happy Robert likes it. He will get some nice gloves. I am also happy I finished the ribbing so I can actually make a glove now and do the fun stuff instead of just ribbing. Also a good reason for me to join the 12 cast ons is that I have everything past the ribbing and I can actually knit the fun stuff whenever I feel like it. The project bag was a gift from my friend Dorit, who is known as Carolien on Instagram and who I know from our bead making days way back in, I believe it was even 2007. 27 sounds so weird. So probably would have been 07 or something in English. Oh well. It's crazy that we know each other for that long already, isn't it? If you're watching, Dorit. Then project number 6 is in this the Knit and Stitch Bits cozy tea party, I guess, bag. And in here is the pattern, the project, and a whole lot of yarn. You can already see the label. It is Undercover Otter, my favorite. And this is Eventide fingering. which is a merino yak and silk base, so it's very luxurious. And it is the color Out of Space colorway. There's also the crystal, which was a specific yarn long colorway, but that was almost the same as this one, so I decided to mix and match those two. I am knitting Bee Street by Kathryn Folkerth, and it is a lace sweater. You can see the pattern of the sweater, and I saw this when it came out, and it was test knit by Mari of Bad Betty Knits, and I fell in love with her sweater right away. It's been on my list and queue since then, and I think it was somewhere in 2019, maybe 2020, I'm not sure. But I have a cast on, and here you can see I already have some of the lace. Oh, it still focuses on me. Fine, I will see that I can block my face a bit. Yeah, well, it's difficult. I have the lace, I have the raglan set up, and I have a marker in here with my extra stitch markers, because you have to incorporate the increased stitches into the pattern. So having my stitch markers color coded and all. Hey ho. I'm really happy with my coconuts here, and I really hope I have enough of one color. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. But I think I need 24 of the same color. But that's fine. We'll see. I'm not that far ahead yet. I think I have to increase until over 500 stitches. So I am now in doubt. I have made a teeny tiny swatch, just knitting it around with a, basically, I think it was about 40 stitches. I did that magic loop, and I'm knitting this not magic loop, and apparently when I knit magic loop I knit tighter than when I knit mindlessly in a round. You can see that it's going right. So I have less stitches than I need per inch, or per 4 inch, or per 10 centimeters, whatever, which means that my sweater is going to be too big. So I have now many options. I can just knit on, have a sweater that's a bit bigger, which would be fine, but this sweater is knit with 0 ease, or even a tiny bit of negative ease. I could just rip back and re-knit it with a 3.25 millimeter needle. I'm now knitting it on a 3.5 millimeter needle. I could just knit on until basically the split of the sleeves and see how it fits and work it out from there if I need extra stitches, and maybe just not do more, because raglan increases the depth of the yoke is a very important thing. It has to be right. I could fiddle around with adding more on the back, so because this bit on the front is narrower than that bit on the back for most people. For me it is an inch bigger on the back. Yeah, I am undecided what I'm gonna do, which means it's very good that I will cast on number 7 very soon, because this one is going into timeout until I figure out what to do with it. Probably the thing that would hurt least is to just frog the whole thing and start knitting it again. I might have to cast on all anew, because I cast on a 3.25 millimeter needle. The pattern suggests one size less than the rest you're knitting. So I would have to go down there as well. I might just pop it on a longer cable and see how the fit of the neckline is for me. So maybe it is a bit wide and sloppy. It does have a lot of stretch, so I might just have to frog it and restart it, but the sweater is worth it. And if I go down a needle size, that means I have a 3.5mm back, which means I can cast on the other project I have planned on a 3.5mm, but I cannot do now because it's already in this one. I'm using interchangeables. I could take it off, but I'm trying not to, because that means that I would have like 10 projects with a 3.5mm needle and just one pair of needles to knit it with. So I keep changing them, and every other project is just on hold on a cable. And I like the idea of just being able to grab the knitting whenever I want to. So, yeah. Oh well. I do have to show you the yarn. Look how gorgeous it is. And this is what I meant with I have a new color obsession. It's more pink, wine red, etc. Like my raindrop sweater, like in my adventuresome shawl. That's where it started probably. Now going into more pinks. For someone who hates pink, this is a thing. So pinks, purplish, reddish. Yeah, it has to be the right wheelhouse. It has to be warm colors. But I'm really starting to dig it. I guess it's an acquired taste when you get older or something. So yeah, that's cast on number 5 and number 6. And now I have to figure out what to do for the rest. I do have ideas aplenty. I have projects aplenty. I think I was at 14 planned projects. I think I even have 15, so I'm gonna swap some things around, because if I have so many sweaters on the needle, I definitely know that things will keep lingering for at least 3-4 years again. Or not, because I'm now more a sweater knitter than I was 4 years ago. Then it was still sweaters. Sweaters are big and difficult. No, they're not. They're just knit stitches and purl stitches. Sometimes a special stitch, but they're basically the same as a sock. I know there are people out there who are daunted by sock knitting. I was too at the beginning, but then I just went all in, did some sock madnesses, and now I can do everything somehow. And it all works. And if not, you rip it back. So how are you guys getting along? Are you also halfway? Are you burned out already from casting on? I can show you my box. I have everything ready to go. And then some. I have put all the projects just in a box. This one's probably not gonna make it. These are 2 other things. So let's make it a better look. So here we are. This is what's awaiting you guys. 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and I have a 7th to make up for the frog one, which was a really big project, a lace shawl, which is now going to be a really small project that I can actually finish, maybe even in a day, which would also be nice to not accumulate just the whips. So yeah, that's it for today. I will be back in a few days and hope you are all enjoying your cast-ons or your whip knitting, or at least a little bit of crafting if you have the time. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.